The biggest misconception is the things that has happened to you throughout life that has convinced you and made you a believer that you do not have a purpose, there is not a call on your life, and you are living in your true identity. The truth is, most of the things that has transpired in our life, we are very, very grateful and thankful for the good things, but when it comes to the things that has brought great shame to our lives, or the things that has brought great pain and trauma, some are brave enough to share and others are not. However, whether you vocally share those things, it comes out by way of your behavior. It comes out the way you perceive things. It comes out in the way that you speak. It comes out in the way you see others, in the way that you view yourself. I was reminded of God choosing Gideon to deliver the Israelites from the Midianites. And so at that particular time, Gideon was not up for the task. And so he told God, no, I can't do it. Why? Because Gideon felt unimportant. Like many of us, we have gone through life, and at some point in our life, we've gone through too much. We just don't feel adequate enough to carry out the task that God is calling us to, or some of the things that people can see in us that we cannot see in ourselves. And so Gideon asked God for some signs, and finally he accepted the task. And so I think there was like over 32,000 men that Gideon was going to lead to war. So he gathered up his army of these 32,000 men, and God said, no, Gideon, I want you to downsize. I want you to downsize because they're not going to see that God is the one that delivered them from the Midianites. And so, you know, they were going to brag about it being in their own strength. There are those that feel like, you know, they've done a great job in their own strength, in their own wisdom and knowledge. And of course, God had nothing to do with it. And Gideon, he announced, he said, if you are afraid, then you can leave. And so 22,000 men departed, leaving them with only 3,000 men. Needless to say, they got the victory with only 300 men. And God is trying to show you that numbers, if that's what makes you feel unimportant, because we live in a time now where we're on social media. People are doing anything to go viral. People are doing anything for likes. People are doing anything to be accepted. But God is saying, I'll take the smallest amount of numbers and you will get the victory, because there's an appointed time for you to show up. But you have to show up. It does not matter if you feel inadequate. It does not matter if you feel unimportant. I know the things that has happened to you, but God already chose you before any of those things transpired. You have got to stand up and realize that you are exactly who God said you were. If Gideon got the victory, you too can get the victory.